Thank you, Nutmeg Television, for the opportunity to address the voters and taxpayers of New Britain. My name is Desiree Costa. I am a Democrat running with Team Stewart's Red Caucus. As a Democrat, I am humbled and honored to have been endorsed by the New Britain Republican Town Committee, once again running for Alderwoman at large for the New Britain Common Council. Let me tell you a little about myself. I grew up in New Britain, I have made my home in New Britain, and proudly raised my family here. I am a hardworking mom to 5 children and 1 glorious granddaughter. I am a product of the New Britain school system, having graduated from New Britain High School. Additionally, all of my children have graduated from or continue to attend New Britain schools. I believe in our schools. I have served as a commissioner on the Commission for Community and Neighborhood Development for the last 4 years. My commission reviews and grants funding for various projects in the city, from our parks and school renovations to new and successful community programs that support our children and families as well as our most vulnerable residents, to embracing business opportunities, large and small. I have witnessed the beautiful transformation of New Britain in every resolution that has come through our commission. Further, I have a long career in corporate project management that allows me to bring a thoughtful skill set combined with a fresh perspective while representing New Britain's best interest. I am inspired by the diversity that comprises Team Stewart. Innovation, growth, and success comes from a diverse and collaborative group of people working together toward the same goals for the greater good. Our Red Caucus represents Republicans, unaffiliated, and Democrats endorsed by the Republican Party. I believe that bipartisan leadership is the most effective way to demonstrate teamwork and achieve real results. Team Stewart fosters this unique and successful blend in politics. Simply put, the hardware city has evolved consistently and beautifully over the last 8 years under the leadership of Mayor Aaron Stewart. New Britain has grown responsibly and exponentially with strong economic stability, boasting 8 consecutive balanced budgets, a tax cut for 2021, a coveted bond rating of A+ with 4 straight bond rating increases, and a surplus of over $18 million. The Hive is setting the new standard for skylines with exciting building projects with 1,400 new businesses, including restaurants, boutiques, breweries, arts, and manufacturing, offering over 1,500 new jobs to a revitalized downtown district. New Britain is attracting young professionals with over 200 new apartment units in the downtown area, including the 164-unit Columbus Commons and Court Street apartment projects. The new Ellis Street multi-income housing project is on the rise with another 154 units coming soon. The parks in New Britain are simply unmatched by surrounding towns due to major renovation and improvements over the last 8 years, with a new state-of-the-art swimming pool facility, new basketball courts, and walking paths at AW and Stanley Quarter Park. New playscapes, handball courts, and athletic fields provide hours of activity at Chesley Park, and new tennis and pickleball courts are under construction at Walnut Hill Park. Plans for new recreational facilities at Osgood and Washington Parks are in the works as we speak. Most importantly, with our students in mind, over $100 million has been invested in rebuilding Gaffney, Smalley, and Chamberlain schools, and homeschool is next. Team Stewart has increased city funding to the Board of Education by $1 million over the past 2 years and successfully secured an additional $20 million in state aid. As Alderwoman, I commit to keeping citizens informed about the city budget as well as projects that affect their quality of life. I will prioritize education and opportunities to improve educational experience by working collaboratively to secure additional resources that will directly improve student experience and performance. I will work to promote and maintain valuable programs like New Britain Recovers in our community that provide a path forward for those suffering from addiction, and I look forward to expanding economic development that will both grow our tax base and provide employment opportunities for our residents with good pay, particularly in the green technology and solutions industry. I look forward to serving the people of New Britain, my people, with bipartisan counsel for continued progress, smart fiscal management, and always improving the quality of life in our beloved city. We lead, we care, and all of New Britain wins. Vote Row B, November 2nd. Thank you.
First, I would like to extend my appreciation to Nutmeg Television for the opportunity to address and introduce myself to the residents of New Britain. Hi, my name is Luz Ortiz Luna. I am running for Alderwoman at Large for the City of New Britain in support of Mayor Aaron Stewart. I was born and raised in New Britain. I attended public schools and played sports in New Britain. 34 years later, I am now raising my 2 children in the same city I grew up in. I am an active member of the New Britain Republican Town Committee, volunteered with park cleanups, fundraisers, and campaign events. I also coach for the New Britain Little League. I teach children ages 4 to 7 the fundamentals of baseball. If elected, I will advocate for the residents of New Britain. I will listen to all concerns and make sure they are heard and addressed. I will work close with the community and inform residents of helpful resources provided throughout the city of New Britain. I have always seen a bright future for New Britain, and thanks to our current mayor, Aaron Stewart, the city's future looks promising. Throughout the years, I have witnessed all the accomplishments Mayor Stewart has fulfilled in the city, more than any other mayor in the past. And the exciting news is that she is not done. Team Stewart is a very diverse team, diverse by gender, race, culture, and age. Team Stewart consists of Republicans, Democrats, and unaffiliated. We work with everyone who sees a promising future for the city of New Britain. As she mentions all the time, she cannot do it without her team. And I am excited and honored to be running on Team Stewart. Don't forget to vote Row B on November 2nd. We care, we lead, New Britain wins. Team Stewart 2021.
Thank you, Nutmeg Television, for the opportunity to address all New Britain taxpayers. I'm Danny Salerno, Majority Leader, a Democrat Alderman at Large for the New Britain Common Council. I've been endorsed by the New Britain Republican Town Committee for the 5th time, but this time for the position of City Treasurer. I believe that 8 years on the council was enough for me. I have imposed my own term limits. It was time to move on. I have 5 minutes to share 8 years of progress in New Britain. What is Team Stewart? It remains the most diverse election team you can imagine, diverse by race, age, gender, and culture. 8 of the 15 candidates running for council are Democrats and unaffiliated, endorsed to the credit of the Republican Town Committee, because Team Stewart is not about party or ideology. We are about the leading, caring, and winning for New Britain every day and for the future. Who is on Team Stewart? This is your winning ticket for 2021. In Ward 1, incumbent Alderman Howard Dyson, longtime businessman, 16 years as a police commissioner, and Peter Skirbo, New Britain police officer and community volunteer, 2 Republicans. In Ward 4, Assistant Majority Leader Robert Smedley, Republican, a facilities manager with our school district, and incumbent Alderman Mike Thompson, unaffiliated, a public works supervisor, both strong advocates with CCSU and the many issues of the Belvedere section. In Ward 2, 2 incredibly competent individuals, Jarrell Hargraves, a former alderman and the CHRO director here in the city, unaffiliated, and Valerie Ruby Ingram, a Democrat, a healthcare administrator, and activist, both with outstanding commitment to the young children and families of the East End. 2 new candidates seek your support in Ward 3, activists Jeffrey Gums and Sarah Piatti, 2 Republicans. Continued leadership in Ward 5 for you, incumbent Alderman Chris Rutkowski, a Republican, a local small business owner, and Alderman Paul Catanzaro, a veteran Democrat and former 4-term council member, retired city employee and labor leader. Both are strong leadership examples on the Common Council. The Team Stewart Alderman at Large candidates are Desiree Costa, Matthew Malinowski, Luz Ortiz, all Democrats with deep ties in New Britain service, and Republicans Alden Russell, RTC, Vice Chair, and Assistant Majority Leader Willie Pavone, a prominent business owner and Latino community leader. I urge you to learn more about these 5 at-large candidates of character and talent. Our Board of Education candidates are Tony Kane, a teacher and former RTC chair, Tina Santana, recently appointed to the BOE, outspoken special needs advocate and mother of 4 school district children, a Republican. Cheryl Bogoslawski is our tax collector, and Mark Bernacki is our city town clerk, seeking their 5th terms. And I'm running for treasurer. That rounds out the major ticket. A snapshot of what Team Stewart, led by Mayor Aaron Stewart, has been able to accomplish. Well, let me just give you a brief aspect. 8 consecutive balanced budgets, a tax cut in 2021, a bond rating of A+ with 4 straight rating increases, 8 consecutive years of grand list growth, literally hundreds of new small businesses, restaurants, manufacturing, and jobs, veteran and homeless housing construction, and a revitalized downtown district. But for the moment, rather than be able to tick off more issues and projects, drive around the city of New Britain. Drive through the facilities of Stanley Quarter and A.W. Stanley. Take a look at the new pickleball courts and tennis courts throughout the city. Playscapes at Chesley, athletic fields improved, and new planning for Osgood and Washington Park. Stanley Golf Course has over 450 golfers on a daily basis since 2021, the most successful years in over a decade. And of course, the Beehive Bridge, much needed reconstruction. So we could go on forever on the base of that. We could talk more about education and the $70 million put into by the city of New Britain. But for 8 years, I served as council liaison to the Board of Education, the Board of Finance, Taxation, and City Planning, and the Water Department. I have held 50 coffees for open government, my office hours to all residents. Over 1,200 citizens have attended. All I can tell you is Mayor Stewart is the engine. The Rudd Caucus are the most transparent, accessible, and open government administration in New Britain history. Attitudes changes. Everything has changed in this city because of this administration. I seek your support as candidate for city treasurer, and I hope to provide advice and counsel as needed to Mayor Stewart and a bipartisan council and Rudd Caucus. Continued progress through sound fiscal management can only be found with Team Stewart. Remember that we lead, we care, and all of New Britain wins. Thank you, and vote Row B November 2nd. You can reach me at dannysalerno2013@gmail.com or 860-977-5311 or my Facebook page. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nutmeg Television, for the opportunity to address New Britain taxpayers. I am Willie Pavone, Assistant Minority Leader, a Republican Alderman for New Britain Common Council. I have been endorsed by the New Britain Republican Town Committee for the 6th time. This is time position of Alderman at large. I ask for your support citywide so that I can continue to contribute to many success of Mayor Erin Stewart and her administration. I have been part of the Red Caucus for the last 8 years. I have worked closely with Democrats, unaffiliated members of our Team Stewart, because Team Stewart is not about party or beliefs. We are about the leading, caring, and winning New Britain every day and for the future. The Team Stewart Alderman at Large candidates are Desiree Costa, Matt Ganada, 2 Democrats, and Luz Ortiz Luna, Alderman Russell, and myself, Willie Pavone. I urge you to learn more about these large candidates of character and talents, to list everything that we have accomplished as Team Stewart would take more time than I am allowed. But here are some of sampling of 8 years of balancing budget: a tax cut for 2020, a steady storm stream bond rating plus a surplus over 18 million, 8 consecutive years, a grand list growth, literally hundreds of new small businesses, restaurants, manufacturing, technology that translate into jobs, veterans and homeless, housing, construction, really construction everywhere, over 200 new apartment units in the downtown alone, and hundreds of more coming soon. I ask for your support, a candidate for Alderman at Large, so that we can continue the progress visible everywhere. Transparent and sound fiscal management can only be found by Team Stewarts. Remember that we lead, care, and allow New Britain wins. Thank you, and vote Row B November 2nd.
My name is Mark Kozinski. I'm the current mayor of Berlin, and I am running for re-election for a fourth term this fall. I consider it an honor to have volunteered my time to my hometown during the last 6 years. I believe the Republican majority on the town council and I have brought meaningful change and progress to the citizens of Berlin with the adoption of responsible budgets and sound fiscal policies. The following information I'd like to share with you are examples of our leadership during the past 6 years. Public safety. During the past year, we have supported the Berlin Police Department with the proper funding and resources needed to protect our town from the recent increase in juvenile car thefts and break-ins. We've replaced obsolete police and fire radio dispatch systems. Our police radio dispatch system and radio system was so broken and obsolete that there were some nights that they could not even communicate with patrol vehicles. That has now been corrected. We've supported renovations to the police department and purchased new police cruisers and fire trucks. Education. Over 56% of our town budget has been allocated to fund our excellent school system. We've funded security measures such as armed security guards, cameras, and security vestibules at school entrances. We funded repairs to our schools, playing fields, and renovated our basketball and tennis courts. Infrastructure. We've established and implemented a 20-year road improvement plan. We have funded and completed much-needed repairs to numerous bridges, sidewalks, dams, and town facilities. We've also supported a plan to build a new community senior center. This plan is now working its way through the process, and we hope to have a referendum on this issue by early next year. Financial stability. We've implemented the last 2 years a zero tax increase for everyone in town, and we had some small reasonable increases in prior years. We've reduced our town debt created by past administrations from $115 million, which is very unhealthy levels according to our town auditors, to now, this year, $81 million. Finally, one of the crown jewels, I think, of the last 6 years of my administration has been economic development. Since 2016, we have seen 59 new businesses open or move to Berlin and 25 expansions of existing businesses. And these businesses are a wide range of small mom and pop businesses to aerospace and medical equipment manufacturers. With the current and future development projects that we have brought to town, $85 million of private investments are now at work in Berlin. As demonstrated by our leadership and results during the past 6 years, if re-elected, our Republican team and I will continue to be fiscally responsible, support economic development, and provide high-quality government and education services to the citizens of Berlin. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Attorney Michael Carrier, and I'm a candidate for probate judge for the Probate Court District of Berlin, which handles all probate matters for the town of Berlin and the city of New Britain. As a lifelong resident in New Britain and a practicing attorney in Connecticut for 35 years, I believe I'm uniquely qualified for this position. Over the course of my career, I've handled hundreds of probate matters throughout the state, including decedents' estates, trusts, and conservatorships. I've also served as a hearing officer for the New Britain School District for the past 24 years. We in Berlin and New Britain are fortunate to have one of the most efficient probate courts in the state, and my goal is to keep it that way and make the court as user-friendly as possible. In regard to my personal life, my wife Rita and I have been married for 33 years and have 3 children and 1 grandchild. Our daughter Christina is an elementary school teacher in Plainville. She and her husband Joe Rapisarda reside in Middletown. Our son Robert is a lieutenant in the United States Army, 10th Mountain Division. He has served in Afghanistan and is currently stationed at Fort Drum, New York. Our son Timothy is a senior airman in the United States Air Force. He's served in South Korea and is currently stationed in Italy. We also have a 3-year-old grandson, Nate, who we adore and love spending time with. In addition to my legal experience, I have a long history of volunteer service to the city of New Britain, having served as president of the New Britain Board of Education, chairman of the New Britain Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, chairman of the Board of Fire Commissioners, chairman of the Charter Revision Commission, and vice chairman of the Commission on Community and Neighborhood Development. I've also been heavily involved in the New Britain and Berlin nonprofit community, having served as chairman of the Greater New Britain Chamber of Commerce, president of the United Way of New Britain and Berlin, president of the French Businessmen's Association, president of the New Britain Berlin YMCA, president of CCARC, Inc., an organization which supports individuals with intellectual disabilities, a director of the Boys and Girls Club of New Britain, director of the American Savings Foundation, trustee of St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in New Britain, corporator of the Hospital Central Connecticut, and corporator of the Hospital for Special Care. I have freely volunteered my time as a way to give back to the community that I've made a living in. Community service is a way of life for me, and I would like to continue to serve the citizens of Berlin and New Britain as the next probate judge. Many people are unsure what a probate court does. It helps to think of it as a family court. Probate courts have jurisdiction over probating wills and administration of estates, overseeing testamentary and living trusts, determining title to real and personal property, construing the meaning of wills and trusts, appointing guardians for people with intellectual disabilities, appointing conservators for the person and the estate of incapable individuals, committing those suffering from mental illness, alcoholism, or drug addiction to an appropriate facility, removing unfit parents as guardians of their children, terminating parental rights of parents who cannot fulfill their parental responsibilities, granting adoptions, granting name changes, and other matters. It's important to have a probate judge who truly cares about the lives of the people who come before him or her. These individuals typically have either recently lost a loved one, are in crisis themselves, or need to assist an individual who is unable to care for him or herself. The people of Berlin and Britain deserve someone who will listen to their needs with understanding and compassion and help them navigate the probate system as efficiently as possible. People who know me in the community believe that I'm the right person for the position. They believe that I have the experience and temperament to effectively help those in need of the services of the probate court, and I ask you for your vote on November 2nd. You can visit my website at carrierforprobate.com. Thank you very much.